Wondering how well one of these inexpensive wireless mini keyboards works? So do I. So I got one, and we're going to open it up and see how well it works on Raspberry Pi and Linux. I've used a number of Bluetooth devices on a number of operating systems and hardware platforms over the years, and I've always found them to be a little finicky. Sometimes you turn them on and they work, and sometimes they don't. And I've had some devices that I just couldn't get to work at all. So I'm hopeful that this will work. It's got some really cool features. It's got RGB backlit on the keyboard. It's a full keyboard in a very small form factor. It's got a mouse control that has adjustable DPI, so depending on the size of your screen you're working with, it makes it easy to control. On the surface it sounds really cool, but it's Bluetooth, and I'm kind of skeptical about that. So we're going to open this up and take a look at it and try getting it running on Raspberry Pi. If we're just meeting, welcome. I'm Harley. This is the House of Hacks. I make stuff here, usually out of wood or metal, but sometimes that involves technology like Raspberry Pis and mini keyboards. Let's open this up and see what it has inside. So like I said, I'm kind of hopeful that this is going to work well. I would really like it to. So it comes out with, first of all, a short USB cable with a large and small connector on it. I'm assuming this is for recharging purposes. And then we have just the keyboard unit. It's in bubble wrap, help protect it. A very small user guide. It's all pictorial, a little bit of writing inside. And not much to it. Small trifold thing, and there's the device. It's got some keys for controlling things, and then the keyboard. It actually has a pretty nice feel to it. It has a click feel and real positive action. I've been pretty impressed with it so far. I don't know how to use this at all. Controls a little confusing. It fits well in the hands, but so yeah, doesn't feel too bad. It looks like it has some battery compartment back here. Okay, so here's the receiver unit. So maybe it isn't Bluetooth. Oh, that would be cool. Maybe it looks just like a regular keyboard. That would be better. Interesting. And it has a little slot in here for storage. Looks like phone battery that's easily replaced, and is that a BL5C? So that's nice. It's probably rechargeable since it has the cord here, but is easily changed. At first I thought it had AA's in it, or AAA's, and that was going to be a little bit of a pain, but that looks like a nice unit. It's got a switch here on the top. I assume that's a power switch, and then a plug here for the USB cable, which, as I said, I assume that's just for charging purposes. I'm going to read the manual and take a look at this and try to get it hooked up. I've got the Raspberry Pi here set up with my little tiny video monitor, and it's plugged in. I don't have any keyboard or mouse to it this time. I have gone through the instruction manual that came with this thing. There's, like I said, there's not much to it. It basically says plug it in and turn it on and use it. One thing of note it does say, though, is it will take either the battery that we saw before in it, or it will also take 2 AAA batteries. Well, the manual said it would take AAA batteries, and the case has a place for AAA batteries, but there's no actual connectors for AAA batteries. So while you could technically put them in here, I don't think they're really going to do anything. And then it has a little troubleshooting section that has just basic common sense kind of things, and maintenance, don't submerge it in water, that kind of thing. So not a whole lot of interesting stuff there. So I did throw it on the charger for a little bit, and going to take this out for the receiver out of the little holder thing. Close that back up. I'm going to put this in one of the USB slots and turn it on, and let's see what happens here. Turn and power on my screen. Raspberry Pi boots. And this does have, in addition to kind of the D controller that looks like it works for the mouse, there's also a touchpad. We'll see how that works. We'll turn this on now. It's booted. And, well, the mouse works for the touchpad. It doesn't seem to work for using the D controllers. There's no instruction manual on this, so it's kind of going to be a little bit of experimentation. Looks like there's a mouse button here that brings up the context menu. It's right click, and then you use the up and down arrows to select something. The mouse does work, and you can tap it to do a click, and it's supposed to have some sort of scrolling. Oh, that probably works if you have an app open. Let's try opening the browser, and we'll just pull something up here. So it's working really well, other than learning how to navigate the keyboard. One thing I did notice is it only has Shift and Control on the left side. There's nothing over here on the right. And also the Windows key is on the right side, which is opposite most keyboards. So if you want to do, control keys, then you have to kind of reach over the keyboard. Probably not a big deal. It's a small enough keyboard. Triple fingers will allow you to scroll, as does this the D controller. Scrolls either way. So yeah, overall it looks pretty cool. It's got the backlit keyboard. I have no idea how you change the colors on the keyboard. It defaults to blue. Oh, I see these. It's hard for me to see without my glasses, this keyboard. The buttons on here, this is a right click and looks like a left click buttons, but that's not kind of what I saw. It seemed to be the other way around. Oh, if you triple click, it will bring up the context menu too. So the icons seem to be backwards to me. This one says it's a right click is the way I would interpret that icon, but it's actually a left click. And this one is a right click, and the button looks like a left click to me. I guess it's one of those cases where you can't, when you only have two items and there's a little graphical differentiation between them, you don't know which the graphical representation means. It's kind of like when you have a menu item and something's highlighted, but you don't know if the highlight is the selected item or the unselected item. That's always kind of fun. Same issue here, but it seems to be working just fine. No problems whatsoever hooking it up. It's not Bluetooth like I originally thought, so that's probably why it actually works. It doesn't have all those finicky drivers that you need to hook up. So I'm really impressed with this little thing. I think I paid $13 or $14 for this. I think it was under $15. So it seems to be working really well. I assume that there's a way to change the colors. I'm not going to try to fiddle with that here on camera. Just first impressions, it's working. Give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Over here is a video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. And while making things, remember, perfection's not required, fun is.